What happened?
Welcome to another new episode of Marvel Cinematic Review, the show where we break down Marvel shows weekly. This week we're breaking down episode 6 of She-Hulk, titled Just Jen. I love that because I believe it's a playoff of one of my all-time favorite shows, Will and Grace, Just Jack. Fucking love Jack. So for me, this was awesome. If that was a nod to that, because Just Jack was fucking great. But alright, I can't wait to get into this episode. So many Easter eggs, so many fun things that come out of this episode. But first, let me introduce my panel, starting off with Joel. What's up, Joel?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. And Trayvon, what's going on, Trayvon?
Happy to be able to talk about this episode. It was okay. Wasn't it
We
felt
didn't
like
ask for your opinion yet.
okay. Solid, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just getting it out there.
How about we wait till we get there? All right.
I will say this. I know the world was split, right? So like there were people that truly enjoyed it. I think I'm in that pile. There were people that thought it was I believe Trayvon was in that pile. And then there was another pile of people that just thought Daredevil would arrive, so they're upset.
So they're upset.
And then a whole nother pile who still won't get over the fact that this is a self-contained, to a degree, comedy. It's what it's going to be from its inception till its finale. It's just what this show is, right? So it's split in factions. There's factions around this show. So I am just glad, Trayvon, that you're not in the you hate that it's a comedy, even though it's told everyone it was going to be a comedy from day one. I'm just glad you're not in that pile, because that pile is unbearable to get through.
No, I'm not there. The episode in general just wasn't. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, okay, let me start with you, because I am curious, because I have heard people say, and I'm not talking about people that can't get over the fact that it's a comedy, or people that were expecting Daredevil. Those people, to me, just whatever. They don't matter. Okay, sorry. I know that might offend some people, but you don't. Good.
Now I will sympathize with those people though, because they did tease it last week and had people thinking that was what was going to happen this
week. Well, no. See, okay, here's the misconception. They teased Daredevil was coming. That did not have to mean he was coming this week. That just means before this show's season is over, you will see Daredevil.
But you got to understand the assumption of
no.
We saw his helmet.
I will always understand that is people's assumption, and I will always fight back that creating, right, a narrative is what leads people to being upset. Is creating. What did y'all tell me? And this is why I say, Trayvon, y'all be flip-flopping. What did y'all tell me the entire 2 months I was looking for fucking Mephisto in WandaVision? Ain't nobody tell you he was coming, Jawan. Ain't nobody tell you he was coming. I don't even know who the fuck he is. Wait for it. He'll show up at some point. That's what y'all kept telling me for 2 whole months.
We saw a helmet. You can't. It's not the same.
We saw the trailers. He's in it.
Yeah, we know he's in it. That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. He's coming. It's just no one told anybody that he would be in every episode. And I think some people thought that.
Oh, I didn't think that. No, I didn't think
that. No. I know you didn't. But the way some people are acting is if they thought some people are acting as if this is called Daredevil, Attorney at Law. Right? And Jen is like a co-star. That's not what this is.
I didn't think to see him at all till like the finale, honestly. So when I saw the helmet, it made me think, oh, he's maybe coming next week. It didn't make me think that way.
The helmet was just for... Well, no, Trayvon, look at it like this. The helmet was more so for people who aren't as invested in it as we are and maybe haven't seen trailers, didn't see anything from D23. They're just watching it because they want to be part of it.
And not knowing Daredevil was
exactly
coming.
Right. For you, you're just like,
my pants.
You're like, oh, well, that's a healthy welcome. Like, so some things, because again, for us, we knew Daredevil would be in the show well before you saw the helmet in the fucking thing, right?
True.
So for us, we know he's coming. I think people are just upset because they don't get it when they want it. And all I'm saying is, welcome to the fucking party, kids. Like, that's my life in a nutshell with the MCU.
Play with me, man.
But no, all jokes aside, Trayvon, what were your thoughts on this issue, and what kind of put you in that meh pile? That, again, I'm not putting on you. I've seen a lot of people feel that way, but I'm just curious, what makes you feel that way about this specific episode?
It just felt like filler. I don't know. It just felt like a filler episode. I was like, oh, so you'll be a bridesmaid. I guess the characters just weren't interesting enough for me. And honestly, Titania is just an annoyance rather than, yeah, I'm happy to see you. It's more like, oh, okay.
I think she's meant to be, though.
Yeah.
I think she's meant to be that you see her. And
like, everybody's trash except for Dickie. Like even that friend that invited you, like, we invited her to do chores. I was
essentially
okay,
right.
This kind of sucks. Like, I was like, why are you still here? Leave. Leave this wedding.
I'll say this, Trayvon, because you said it felt like and I'm gonna go back to you. I didn't mean to.
No.
But you said it feels like a filler. I said either last week or the week before, I felt like that was a filler. What I'm starting to realize is that this show is supposed to run more like. You ever watch Rick and Morty?
No, actually.
Okay, let me find something else for you. I
saw something where he was throwing up one time, and I thought,
oh, wait. No, I got a better example for you. You watch My Wife and Kids, right?
I've seen it, yeah.
Okay, so if you watch My Wife and Kids... No, you know what? Let's go with something that everybody knows. You've seen Martin, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This show works the same way Martin did. And what I mean by that is, you do not have to see... Well, obviously, but you do not have to see every single episode to understand Martin. Because they're each self-contained, right? So each episode is supposed to be different than the other, which is why you'll get a 1-part, 2-part, but then when you get to the next episode, it does not acknowledge what happened in the episode before. So you could have something, right? You could have a lot of comedy is supposed to be that because it's not you're not supposed to really care about the general story. Right. It's just a hijinks that happens in the episode, right? Mm-hmm. It's why The Office is so successful because if you miss an episode, you only miss hijinks. You don't miss a piece of a larger puzzle. Right. You just miss a really funny episode.
But you don't know when that is, so you have to watch it.
Exactly. So for me, I kind of view the filler, and I'm only saying this, Trayvon, because I don't want to leave you out here by yourself, because I did call one of these episodes filler, right? And I'm just starting to realize that's just what comedy or sitcoms are. Is to where it is one big filler. There are episodes where you're just like, I don't give a fuck that they're getting married. I don't give a fuck that this is her 50th birthday. But then you watch and you're like, oh, I see. Okay, it's just the hijinks I'm supposed to pay attention to, not the story, right? Not the story aspect of it. And I think because She-Hulk is so drastically different than the MCU we're used to, it's like, wait a minute, you're telling me I don't have to care about certain shit? After you were telling me I gotta watch all this shit and then this and pay attention to that. So I think it's just because it's so different that a lot of people are like, it's not really my thing. And I don't knock them for it. To me, if I always say, Trayvon, if you go into a project and you watch it beginning to end and you just go, hey, wasn't my thing, you'll never hear a word out of Jawan. But it's when some people give their reasonings to why they don't like it. So I'm like, well, that doesn't fucking make any sense.
If you look hard enough, every episode has something, but you have to know what you're looking for. If you do not, you will be like, what the fuck was the point of that? Well,
right. So there were 3 massive things in this, Trayvon, that me and Joel will point out that are massive going forward, right? Well, Joel, you're not helping me.
Of course, there are a few things.
Go ahead, Trayvon.
There are a few things I like in here, like. I like the guy she met. Finally, somebody that isn't trash. It seems so far, at least. Hopefully they'll try to stab later.
Guy, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he seems cool. I was okay. I like this. This is good. I did enjoy. Was it Nikki and Mallory?
I think her name's Mallory.
Yeah, Mallory.
Yeah, I like them working together. I thought that was funny. At one point, I thought. It was so funny the way that Mallory was doing it. I thought she was trying to tell Nikki to shut up, but apparently she was enjoying what Nikki was saying. And when they were in the meeting, when they first talked to him, just thought I thought she was looking at her like shut up, but no, she actually was enjoying. I was okay because it was confusing. I was like, okay, I got it. Y'all like each other. All right, cool.
Yeah, it was at that moment they both realized that men ain't shit, and they were just like, oh,
especially this.
Yeah,
right. They were like, oh.
This guy is a loser.
Yeah. So those, I mean, those aspects I like about it. Of course, the end thing. I was like, oh, okay, so they're coming for her, you know.
Right.
But yeah, other than that, like it's just like okay, the wedding thing I didn't really care about, but I didn't mind the luring part of it. I didn't mind that. That was pretty cool, and I liked her meeting that guy. But other than that, I was just like, okay, next.
So the
Like,
wedding
it was
part
like-
was your favorite.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
Trayvon.
I
Here's
think
the
it's
thing.
because the girl was the friend was trash. I think it just completely like just.
No, I agree.
I'm done.
But here's the thing, though.
It was a bad
You
friend.
didn't even.
Yeah.
I don't even think you needed to defend yourself because guess what? I didn't give a fuck about it either. But luckily for me, it wrapped itself in so much Easter eggs, the episode, that it was fine for me. Right? I muddled through it. But like Joel, what do you always tell me that you're glad to have ads on like Hulu and stuff because it gives you time to like scroll through your phone? The wedding is when I scrolled through my phone until they were fighting, and then I was
Exactly
like,
what I
oh,
mean.
okay. No. I'm saying for
It's
me
not a
that.
commercial in this show.
No, for me, that's what I use this for. Is what I meant. And so obviously, you know, later on when this guy stepped in, I'm like, okay, who the fuck are you? And then obviously the fight towards the end. But I will say towards the end, it was a little bit disjointed. I guess they were trying to say that the bride was so shit faced that she didn't remember that she told her not to Hulk out.
Right.
Because it was just so weird. Where she was just like, oh.
At this
yay.
point,
Like,
they were everyone was so happy to see She-Hulk. I have to imagine she's like, whatever, just to save face, and she was drunk. Like,
yeah.
fuck it.
And that is funny because, not to sound gross here, we're gonna move right out of this like immediately. But when she brought up the boobs thing, I never thought about that. But I'm like, oh,
Neither.
I guess your boobs did enhance.
It's so obvious when
Like-
it sits down.
Right,
It's
right.
just a big ass dress,
Right.
which I
Right.
hate for her. She always looks terrible in these oversized
Horrible
clothes.
in these dresses. Horrible.
It sucks.
Why she didn't pay this guy to just make more actual dresses and suits
that
she
strike
could
it,
wear,
too.
right? That she could wear. Oh,
'Cause she looked
Um,
great when she got there, as
right.
She-Hulk in that sundress.
Yeah.
she did. And if you guys noticed, the close up of her face
Yeah,
is
looked
the
great.
best close up we've had
Yeah.
Absolutely.
since this show started. And I was like,
Period.
oh, you guys did good. Okay.
They
Okay.
said this is daylight. We gotta be
Exactly.
Right, yeah, we
Most of the
can't-
daylight scenes that should
We
have
can't
Yeah.
fuck up here.
Yeah.
But Joel, I want to go to you next. Your thoughts on this episode and start to point out some of these big Easter eggs that we got in this episode because there were 3 massive ones.
Well, I'm trying to think of starts.
Wait, how the episode starts?
Yeah, how does it start?
The episode starts with Jin is at home preparing
box
for
up.
the
Oh,
preparing
try
for the
the
wedding.
fucking the invitation box.
Right.
shit. So when
Right.
she first got that, I thought, is this because she's a friend, but not a, like super close friend, an old
Right.
friend? I thought she was inviting her so she can come as the She-Hulk.
That's what I thought. Right. So
Yeah.
when she was
So
like,
when
"Hey,
she
don't
came
do that
as
shit here,"
She-Hulk,
it's like,
And I understand why she would want to go and show off and shit. Look at me, but she didn't. And I understand the way you don't want to be outstage at your own wedding. And
fair.
Right.
she
Yeah.
did a hell of a job standing down because when she shrunk down, you could barely see her in that dress. And those ugly
Wait,
ass,
so much so, Joel, she had to
Right.
hold half of it in her hand
yeah,
because it would just drag.
yeah, it was terrible. Oh man, she looked terrible in that dress. And then it didn't help that like all the bridesmaids, those pink dresses were ugly too, by the way. What
Right.
the fuck?
Oh wait, and also Joel, I want you to talk a little bit about because Trayvon, you didn't. So if you want to chime in after Joel, Trayvon, please do. One of my favorite parts of the beginning of the episode is where Nikki's like, "Can I please see the suit that he made
Oh,
for you?"
yeah,
And she's like,
yeah.
"No, because I'll never wear it."
all
And she's
right.
like, "I just want to see it." And like, I kind of felt like that was me in that moment. Like, I know what it's gonna look like because we saw a tease of it, but like, I want to see
We've seen the
it.
toy.
Like- well, no, we did see in some very quick sizzle reel that they dropped. It showed
Yeah.
her landing
Yeah.
in
We've
that
seen
suit.
her, yeah, we've seen the
Yeah.
Daredevil scene. She's wearing it too.
Right, exactly. So I just wanted to throw that in because I'm like, that was a really fun moment for me. Like, I do also want to see it.
This show does a really good job of like speaking for the audience or poking fun at those that make fun of the show
They do.
while
Mhm.
during the show. Like you
Right.
know, it knows the critics. The critiques it's getting, and it
She
pokes
says it.
on itself.
She says, she looks at the camera and goes, "Hey, this is a self-contained episode, guys."
Yeah.
And that was meant to
Yes,
tell
it's
us,
one of
like,
those
hey,
wedding
Right,
episodes, whatever.
right. To let you know right from the start. Don't think about anything else.
Yeah.
It's just a wedding episode.
I do
That's
love how much they know already going forward. What people are thinking. You know, yeah, we trust them. We get it. It's like,
Yep, they're like, I know people are going to be shitty about this, so
yeah.
we'll remind you how shitty we know you are.
What? Wait, I do have a question because I didn't really understand. What was with the dog?
What do you mean?
That was the person who was to walk down the aisle with.
Yes.
Oh,
So
it was like, oh, it's great.
So
it's great.
remember when she said, "Hey, everybody else has like somebody they're walking down the aisle with," and she's like, "Oh, don't worry, your guy will be here soon."
It was the dog.
The dog was who she was supposed to walk down
The
the aisle.
dog that died and they resurrected that day.
Yes.
He's got a toe down.
How about when she was telling about her life? She's like, I don't want to hear about none of that.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to hear about the good stuff
you
in
have
your
a
life.
man?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a bitch.
She's like, what's
That
more?
That
important?
reminds me of family, and they annoy me with that. Like, how about you ask about my career?
You have a man in your life.
I think what was the shittiest part is how condescending she was when she was like, "Oh no, there's not a guy," and she's like, "You'll get there." It's like, all right, relax.
I'm
Like,
girl, we haven't
relax.
seen
Like,
your
man.
Where's
Yeah.
we haven't seen him.
Calm down.
Is he coming?
I mean, shit, Trayvon. You know, look, this is the one time where I'm like, I wish Trayvon was able to write this script so he could be petty, because I would easily say, "Hey, I'll turn into She-Hulk right now and take your man." I mean, you want to be real. Like,
No,
you know what I'm saying? You want to be
I'd
real.
like, you sure you got a man? I ain't seen him yet.
That's true. That's still what we look like.
Like,
And you know what's the
Right.
funny part? We never will, because I
He ran
guarantee you the
away.
next episode will just
Well, you
progress
never
right
talk
past
about
this.
none
Right.
What was Chad's
no, go ahead.
DJ name?
I don't
DJ
remember.
Chad
Oh.
Incredible.
Chad Credible Hulk?
Something like that.
Shit.
Yeah, something like
Some
that.
shit.
Yeah,
That
I
shit
was
was
like,
funny,
good
man.
lord.
I will say when anytime I hear the name Hulk being mentioned outside of obviously the main character and Bruce, I get a little nervous, Joel, because we do know one of the biggest comics that the intelligentsia had was versus an entire Hulk family. So I'm like, that's the last thing we need is for you to queue up something like that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Be careful, Chad.
I'm
Be
just
careful.
saying. That's what he called. That was his DJ name. Chad Credible Hulk. But yeah,
It was crazy.
I do believe it's all leading towards a more Hulks than we can handle a moment, but I think that'll be dealt with in a future movie or
Right.
something or the likes. But going forward with this episode, I do like they introduced Mr. Immortal, as he likes to be called, the man that
Yep.
cannot die. Fun fact, me and Joanne were talking about earlier, this is a character that was supposed to be introduced in that New Warriors show that never got off the ground. It was in the pilot, and yeah, definitely was not going to be played by that guy. It was going to be played by someone else.
Right.
Um,
There's
I was
no
wondering if it was
connection
a real
there.
character or not. And they just made
Yeah,
He's
it's
a
a
real
mutant
character.
actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
he's a mutant, and he's actually more known in the comic books from the Great Lake Avengers, not the New Warriors. But yeah, that's very much a goofy character, part of a goofy team, one of those D-list characters, G-list. So there's as low as you could go with those characters. But I do love how they utilized him in this, and how long he's been alive, and all the wives, and instead of confronting his issues, he'd just rather kill himself.
He's
Get out of
gonna
it.
die.
I'm just gonna just kill him.
It was
Just trying to
fraud,
catch up
sir.
to
It
him
was fraud.
because he got caught on video
Right.
resurrecting, and now they're all trying to get something out of it. Like, what the fuck? How did you die? That's some
She
bullshit.
could at least got like insurance policies and killed herself and disappeared for a little while, let them get the money, and they come.
Probably
back.
should have.
You know, that'd be
I mean,
nice.
it would have saved you from having this awkward conversation, because if they step forward, they lose that said money.
Right.
So that would have been the best way to kind of get them off of your back, to where like, I can't say anything, I'll lose my money, right? Yeah, you fumbled the bag there for sure, but he kind of seemed as though he didn't really truly understand what was wrong with what he
Yeah.
was doing.
He was
He
oblivious.
was just like, I'm sorry, you can't trick people into thinking you're dead? When did this happen? It's like,
basically
forever.
It's like,
what's
it's
that?
my fault?
He was
Yeah.
like bored. He was like basically like bored now, and then he gonna kill himself.
Yes,
That's
right.
Basically, that's
Right.
Basically.
And the biggest, well, not the biggest, but the funniest thing he said that I felt, because for me it's hard to do, where she was like 20 seconds of straight up eye contact, and he said, "Ooh, we gotta lower that. Like I can't do that."
No, it's 15. It was 15. And
It was
he talked-
15,
and then she moved it up.
and she
moved
moved
it
it
up
up.
to
She
20.
moved
It's
it
like
up.
20.
And at the end of the episode, where you see the drawings, it's him sweating to death.
Yeah.
To try to make the eye contact. I said, I feel you, man. I feel you. That shit's hard.
That's the same dude from Book of Boba, right?
Yes, it is. Yep. Who played the guy trying to broker peace
With
between
the
the
tails.
yeah.
Yep.
But what else stood out to you in this episode, Joel? Mr. Immortal, by the way, is a mutant, but I find it very interesting that how he got his powers was never mentioned in this episode.
I guess we don't know. Like,
Right. So I
Like
am very
Titania.
curious.
the fuck?
Right, that is the biggest question. But Titania, I'm going more so. I think whoever's behind all this manufactured her powers.
Maybe.
But for someone like Mr. Immortal, who's been alive for only God knows how long,
Right.
that's charting backwards, right? So I kind of feel like what Kevin told the writers were, you could put him in here, but you cannot mention that
How?
he's a mutant or how he got his powers, because we gotta introduce mutants first before you go into. Yeah, he did miss his music. I was like, where's his music?
No.
Miss Marvel's the only one that gets that shit. That's not
he ain't
fair.
important enough for that.
Well, they didn't mention mutant.
Mm-mm.
No, they didn't. You're right. You got to know who he is to know.
Yeah,
he's
they're not gonna tell you. Yeah.
right. But what else stood out to you in this episode?
What else? Well, there was the app. Or no, was it or website? The website.
Yep, website. Yep.
Oh yeah.
That had all that nasty shit about her and trying to kill her. I mean, that's some real, sad thing. That's some real shit out there. Like
That's
sure is.
incredibly real.
really
Sure is.
psycho
Incredibly
people
real.
out there, and they probably felt offended watching this episode. This is some bullshit.
real.
We do that kind of.
They're like, they were in the middle of doing it while they were watching it. Like, ooh, yikes,
Whatever.
maybe, maybe I should calm that down.
Yeah, that's right. I do that.
I'm doing it now.
Woke ass episode. I watch every week just to bitch about it.
But I did think it was a cool way to bring in the intelligentsia. I thought that was
is the
like,
website.
I was like, that was okay. I see what you're doing, and I like it. I really do like it. So before you go any further with it, before we get to the end of the episode, I want to ask you,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
what is the likelihood we see this actually form, or do you think it's just something they're
Do
using?
you want to explain what the intelligentsia are?
Yes, so the Intelligentsia is a supervillain team. Of
They're behind him. They're behind Joel.
Yes, they are right behind me. All the Intelligentsia.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you
Oh.
got MODOK that's on his
Cool.
way, Doctor Doom that's on his way,
Leader.
fucking the leader that's on his way. Egghead
Oh.
is actually in this also.
Egghead.
Um,
Mr. Hyde. It looks like.
Oh, also who is in here is Chameleon, but he's portraying someone else when he's in it. But Chameleon is in it. So it's essentially just a brain
Madman.
trust. Madman.
The leader's brother.
Yes. So it's essentially, Trayvon, just a group of the smartest supervillains you could possibly assemble.
Yeah. You have to elite.
Yes. Oh,
The
you know
smart
what,
men.
Joel? The better way to compare it, because Trayvon knows who this team is, it's essentially, to a degree, but not fully, Marvel's Brotherhood. So you know the Brotherhood in DC?
Yeah.
Of like the, fuck, Joel, what's the robot with the brain
Brotherhood
in
of
it?
Evil.
Yeah, the brother, it's essentially their version of that.
Okay.
Moon
To a
Patrol
degree.
villains.
Right. That's why I said Trayvon would know. He would know that
Yeah.
group. But Joel, we're about to get Doom at some point. We know
Hopefully,
we're gonna get MODOK at some point
it
soon.
looks like that's coming.
We know we're getting the leader for sure,
That was announced.
right? Which could lead to his brother. How likely is it you think we could actually get a version of this team in the MCU?
I don't know if they'll actually put it together, but like you said, a version is possible.
Mhm.
Quite possible.
I don't think they'll ever put Doom in it. I just don't.
Yeah, maybe
see that
not
happening.
Doom.
Doom kind of seems like I'm too good for you. It's like, but in the comics, that I didn't write that.
Yeah. We might get I don't know, whoever, like a character that an unexpected character that's working for the leader.
Mhm.
Though I'm not sure who that would be. I wouldn't. I don't know. It's really interesting to think of, like the highest, the smartest villains combining.
Because if I'm taking out Doom, and let's say the
War.
intelligentsia is let's say the intelligentsia is either the villains for New World Order or for the Hulk movie we're rumored to be getting, right?
Right.
I could see, because it would obviously come out before the first before Kang Dynasty. I wouldn't be upset or bothered if there's no Doom, but there is a Kang variant that replaces what Doom would be. I would not mind that whatsoever. Like, it seems like the leader is the mind behind it all, but really it's that Kang that's the leader behind it all.
Oh, you talking about in this group? Okay.
Yeah, in this group, because I'm saying I think we'll get a version of this, not what we see literally here. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we'll get all these guys together. But MODOK and the leader, you can almost guarantee that'll probably be a pairing that happens. It's just, what does everybody else look like? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're going to introduce Egghead. I mean, that's a character I could see you introducing in She-Hulk because it's funny.
Yeah.
But really, what do you do with Egghead after that?
We have,
you know what I'm saying?
We have his daughter, but we don't know for sure if he's alive.
Right. So I mean, when I saw this, I was very excited because I'm like, the possibilities are endless, and I kind of, Joel, would much rather, because I could wrap my head around the intelligentsia being the villain for New World Order over just the leader being the villain for New World Order, because then that way I could at least go, it's Falcon in Cap stopping. Yeah, Falcon and Cap. I said Falcon and Cap. I should have said Cap and Falcon. I'm sorry. But seeing them fight a group, because again, it's just so weird for Hulk's villain to be Cap's villain.
That's why for me there was more to that than met the eye, because I'm like, maybe one leads into the other or something like that. Whatever happens in New World Order maybe is not done in New World Order.
Right. Maybe it starts here. New World Order is the middle. The Hulk movie is the finale. It's a 3-parter, like Doctor Strange.
Yeah. And what I remember Kevin Feige. I think I read that Kevin Feige said that at this point the Avengers are still currently disbanded, so they're not currently formed. So it's gonna be tough. Cap knows, like, I guess Cap is doing whatever he can to figure out what's going on there, and it's just him versus, as we're gonna see, superpowered beings. And so that's why he'll bring in Falcon for help and whoever else he can find, and it might be a mini Avengers movie at the end of it, but we'll see.
I mean, but that's why, because you remember we were having this conversation a few weeks ago where people were saying, like, oh, the MCU seems so disjointed, it doesn't have one straight line. To me, that's what I love, though, because, like, picture Cap, right? Picture Sam. He's like, oh, man, I got to deal with the intelligentsia. That's, like, the worst thing happening. You got Fury that's like, bitch, there is a Skrull war incoming, right? And then you got Doctor Strange that's like, bitch, there is a whole multiversal war that's coming. Then you got Loki that's like, bitch, there is a Kang coming. Like, it's so many moving parts. Right. That's what makes it so much fun for me, because by the time you assemble the Avengers, everybody has a piece of the puzzle that they're putting together once they get back, once they reunite to become a team. Yeah. Right, because then it's like, hey, you ever hear of a Kang? No. You ever hear of a Skrull? No. You ever hear of an intelligentsia? No. Like, you got so many pieces that are putting itself back together. That's why I said, right, that's why I said, I don't think it's disjointed. I think it's a larger story. You just have to be patient enough to see pay off. Right. Because once it does pay off, you'll go, oh. Because remember, you also got what Carol Danvers and Monica Rambeau and Kamala are going through. And don't forget, you also got I just forgot it. But yeah, you got so many moving parts here, right? That's what I meant. Shang-Chi and the whole mysticism of everything, right? So it's like the bangle, the rings. Where does that lead us, right? Does that lead us to where where we're heading to with the Marvels, or is it something completely different? So I'm like, I like that this is a jumbled puzzle, and we're slowly, weekly putting the pieces together. But go ahead, Joel. What else stood out to you? And if you wanted to say anything else about the intelligentsia. By the way, did you know, Joel, that this isn't our first time seeing the name intelligentsia in the MCU?
Nope.
First time we saw it was in Age of Ultron.
Of course it was.
Guess why? They were saying, so remember when the scene before they head to Africa, they were looking at Claw's file.
Yeah.
Right? Where he was saying like, oh, he stole vibranium, he's an enemy of Wakanda. Right in the top under his name says former member of the Intelligentsia. So I was like, I wonder if that was a throwaway, like how the Illuminati was in Stark's phone in Iron Man 2, or was that something that Feige in his mind always said, if I could ever get far enough in this long story, I would love to do the Intelligence.
I mean, look at the 10 Rings. I mean, that was a throwaway technically back then. You know?
Well,
he worked his way there.
It wasn't really a
Iron
throwaway
Man.
because
Yeah,
they had the
Oh, that
shorts.
wasn't a-
They
that
had the
wasn't a
shorts
throw.
that answered
I'm
it.
saying,
Yeah, they had the
but
shorts that
he had
answered
no
it.
idea he was gonna get there.
No,
It was
Well,
wasted. Yeah, it was wasted
yeah,
for
that's what
sure.
I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, you know,
Yeah.
It wasn't like what fucking the what's it called that you just said about the other one, Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Illuminati.
Yes.
That
yes,
was
the Illuminati.
really just
Right.
throwaway. 10
But I
Rings
do
were always
get-
meant to come back to.
I do get what Trayvon's saying because Kevin did say they started to give up on the idea of doing the Mandarin after that movie. Like, it just felt like it wouldn't happen, and then it finally fell in their lap to happen. So essentially, both of you are right, because Kevin was saying there was a point where I thought we might not be able to do this, and then it would have been wasted, but he ended up doing it. So you are right, Joel, that it wasn't wasted because we got it. It ended up being
But the
used.
10 Rings
But he
was
was-
actually was something. Illuminati was an app. or
Oh, I
whatever
see
the
what you're
fuck.
saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
That's
Yes,
nothing.
Yes, you're right. Yeah,
I'll be right
yeah,
back.
you're right. Yeah, you're right. So essentially, Joel's just saying that the 10 Rings was supposed to be something going forward, regardless
right,
if they
right.
went through it or not, went through with it or not. But no, seeing the Intelligentsia in that file for Claw was awesome. Only for him to be killed off in Black Panther, that still bothers me. That is, he's to me, I hate killing off heroes' biggest villains. Like Black Panther's biggest villain was Claw, just like
Maybe
Cap's
he'll
biggest
come
villain
back
was.
as Sound like he did in the game.
Oh Lord Jesus! Oh God! Oh no, I don't need that whatsoever. Holy shit! No, thank you. Nope. If that's the case, you can just keep him right on dead. You can stay right in that hole where Killmonger left him. But no, I just really hate that because I'm like, his Claw was so good, Trayvon, so fucking good. And I never thought I could care about Claw. Like, I thought at the end of the day, I'd be like, Claw died, who gives a fuck? But he did such a great job that I'm like, kind of wanted to see more Claw. You know what
Claw
I'm
was
saying?
great, villain.
I would, Trayvon, you were
Oh,
saying
I
he
think
comes back as...
Claw was the one that was... Chameleon was disguised as Claw.
Yes, that's who he was disguised as. Yep.
Okay.
I'll say this, Trayvon, if he comes back as anything, Living Laser I wouldn't hate. If he had to come back as something, I would not hate that.
I just keep him dead at this point.
Yeah, that's what we were saying before you jumped back. But,
There's no need to have him there. There's other characters you can plug in.
He's fucking
The
sucks.
Tinkerer
Killing
would be
off Hero's
cool.
biggest villain.
They showed
The
him
what?
in the Tinkerer.
Oh,
Already got them,
I'm
though, right?
no. Joel's saying use the Tinkerer in the Intelligentsia.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought he said the same thing, Trayvon. That's why I'm like, what? Yeah, I get you, Joel. That would be
Oh, the
awesome
Tinker?
because
He didn't
yeah, I
die.
thought you were saying him coming back as a thinker. I'm like,
Mhm.
no.
The Tinkerer.
Tinkerer, sorry.
who was in
um,
Homecoming.
He's still around. He didn't die, right?
No, he didn't die at all.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I would actually love that. I would love that completely. And he doesn't have a massive ego. So he'll fall in line, right? He'll
That's
fall in
true.
line with whoever the alpha is.
He's a
Which there'll
tinkerer.
be a lot.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of alphas in that room. I'm just more curious how you kind of fill out that team, because it can't just be all super geniuses. There has to be some people in there that are smart, but aren't as smart as some of the others
Or a
that are more
different type
muscle.
of smart.
Right.
'Cause
that
the
are
whole
more
point
kind
is
of
that they're
muscle.
all smart. That's the point.
Right. To me, I would like some kind of muscle in there. I don't know who we have in the MCU
Well,
that would.
the guy right
fill
there
that.
behind you, Mr. Hyde, would be good. Mr. Hyde's really smart and really strong.
I'd be interested to see if they maybe introduce him in New World Order. That'd be interesting.
They and in the comic books, he's Quake's dad.
Ooh, there you go, Trayvon. You want Quake back? There you go.
Interesting.
Where he's like, oh man, wish you could see what happened to my daughter. And it's like, oh,
Mhm.
she's alive But no, that would be great if we could see those things connect. Not everything needs to connect, but if you wanted to connect that, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Yeah, it'd be okay. I wouldn't
There's other characters you can use.
No, I'm just saying for me, I wouldn't mind it at all.
I mean, if they want to include mutants, I mean, fuck. What's his name? Why can't it come to me?
Describe him.
Mr. Sinister. There you go.
Oh,
That'd be a good one.
woo! Joel's talking about firepower here. God damn, Joel, you coming out swinging. Damn. So you would replace Doom with Mr. Sinister?
Why not? If we're gonna go that far, I mean, they're definitely gonna introduce Doom way before we see Mr. Sinister. So we'll see. We never got Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, it does seem like that.
Well, to me, Mr. Sinister should be, because to me, I don't want an X-Men movie to be a quote-unquote X-Men movie. I want it to kind of be the start of things, and then you build your way to an X-Men movie, and then once you get there, you got a Mr. Sinister, or you got Magnet, whatever you decide for it to be. But I want you to build that X-Men up for people to truly respect it as a team and who the actual core members are before you get to the X-Men that people are used to. I want you to build it up slowly that way. So then once you get Wolverine, Storm, Jubilee, Gambit, all of them, it's like
this show She-Hulk is already basically teased 2 mutants, and that's one with Wolverine in the news article. And Mr. Mortal, they didn't say he's a mutant, but he is a mutant.
He is indeed a mutant, yep. And we know mutants now exist in the MCU, so
Is Marvel a mutant?
Okay.
She is, so there's no hiding it in that. But all right, Joel, so walk us through the quote-unquote post-credit scene.
What was it? There was a post-credit?
So it ends with Jen.
Before it ends.
Yeah.
In the lab.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, yeah. They don't really show much because it's just people. But yeah, they show the needle that got that's crooked and shit, and then it's got the bigger needle, and it's like it's got the whatever the hazard logo, whatever the fuck.
And more importantly, Joel, it guaranteed me and you, because remember we thought we were saying this 2 or 3 weeks ago, that we thought this was going to lead to New World Order. This is going to lead to New World Order, and that's our confirmation. Because remember, they're watching Jen.
Yes.
They're watching her on a monitor. That tells you that's a whole feel of a New World Order, right? Being watched. So for me, I love that. I thought that was so freaking awesome. The idea of like, all right, the leader's watching. He see what failed the first time, right? He saw what failed the first. So now let me ask you this, Joel, before we start to wrap this up. Do you think whoever's behind this, we won't say a name, whoever's behind this, right? So we're not setting expectations for certain people. Whoever's behind this She-Hulk attack, do you think they hire... A lot of people are speculating, hey, don't get your hopes up, it's just him, and it's going to be like an incredible situation to where like superheroes hurt him, so now that he has a modicum of power, he's using it to break down the heroes.
I got money now.
Right, if that's what they choose to do, whatever. I mean, at this point,
if he's a character I know, I'm fine. I'm just some random dude named Todd.
Hey, Incredibles did it and it worked. I loved it. So,
but those are a whole bunch. There's a whole movie of characters I never heard of.
That's also true, right? I'm thinking whoever's behind this, Joel, is who hires. I'm gonna call him Frogman. That's his fucking name. I don't care what the show says.
Leapfrog. I don't know why it's so hard.
Because I hate the name change. Leapfrog, whatever. It's Frogman.
Not the name change. We were calling him Frogman. They were gonna call him Leapfrog.
No. No, in the comics, his name is Frogman, though.
And Leapfrog.
That's what the son did end up taking. But he did have Frogman first before he fully changed.
The father was Frogman.
I just hate that we're skipping Frogman to Leapfrog. I hate it. But I'm thinking that's who they hired. And that's how he had the money to go get the suit made from the drip broker. Is that whoever's trying to attack She-Hulk hired him, and that's the money he used to go get the suit. Because to me, nothing else really makes all that much sense as to why Leapfrog, I assume, came from Hell's Kitchen all the way to what, LA?
We don't know.
Like that's really far. That's drastic, right? That's pretty drastic. So I'm like, to me, it sounds more so like maybe the leader's looking for these no-name villains that he can essentially just throw at She-Hulk. and he heard about this guy that uses this tech or whatever the case may be. Because look, obviously, whoever's doing the hiring isn't good at their job. To hire the wrecking crew, like in any world, that's the wrong idea, right? So I'm like, clearly he's not great at this job. So do you think it's that connected, Joel, or do you think Leapfrog and this main plot aren't connected?
I don't know. I don't. I really don't know. I don't know. I can't. I really don't know. I don't see.
I like how part of your brain was like, hold on now, don't give up. Nah, I don't got anything.
I don't know if I see it, but maybe I just it's such a. I don't know.
It's such a weird situation. It really is.
No, it's just so random weird. Character. Just
right.
I want Leapfrog doing my bidding. That was the leader's first. I don't know.
Because so much about it is so weird. Because it's like whatever Leapfrog is doing, he was doing some of it in Hell's Kitchen, enough for Matt to go, I might have to follow you. Like I might have to go to where you're going.
Doing it across the country.
Right. It's so.
He ended up in Hell's Kitchen last time he was in Hell's Kitchen, and Matt's like, I have to go to LA anyway.
I'm being honest with you. I'm really hoping, and I'm sure whatever their explanation is will make way more sense than what I'm about to say. But I really do hope that Jen and Matt had worked together before.
Have worked together before?
No, like in a lawyer capacity, obviously. In a lawyer capacity.
So some random lawyer from New York met and lawyered with this.
No. I'm saying that I believe that at some point maybe Jen was doing work in New York. Not that Matt came here. Because I'm like, it's just so weird for me for Daredevil to leave Hell's Kitchen to come.
We know why he's there to get the costume.
Well, I thought the costume was what he ended up getting while he was there. You're saying he came there for it.
Yeah, that's why I think he's there to pick it up.
Oh, okay. Because I thought it was more so
pick it up.
He found out about it, had it made while he was out there. It was just like, well, use some new dreads.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I can go with like he's just there to get that suit. That's why he's here.
It's just a really weird.
6-hour flight.
It's a really weird. So like, why are you here? Kind of thing.
I need a good reason.
I'm all game for whatever it is. I'm not saying like, oh, it has to be this specific way. I'm game for whatever it is. I'm just very curious. Like, the man does not leave Hell's Kitchen and to go all the way to LA has to be a damn good reason. Like a really, really, really good reason. Like maybe there's a lawyer convention. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
That could be, yeah. That could be.
Like a lawyer con? Is there a lawyer con that they go to?
he was working with superheroes, right? He worked with Spider-Man, so maybe she's the law division, the biggest in the. She said the biggest in the country.
She did say that. Yeah.
So I was like,
I see you, Trayvon. You on to something right there. I like it.
So maybe that's why he's there.
Maybe he was like, hey,
Mr. Pro Bono too, though.
No, that is true, but I could see him going, hey, I worked with Spider-Man. Like, that's pretty big. And it's like, it's pretty big, but you gonna move out here? Oh, no. I thought maybe you had a division in New York. Yeah, no, I'm not coming all the way out here. But for me, I'm just excited to see what it is, because again, we know, Joel, it's like when Batman leaves Gotham. We always assume it has to be something Justice League, right? Because it's like, well, Batman don't leave Gotham. It has to be something extremely important for that man to pick up and go.
I don't want to say people don't leave their cities because it's you got to be really like one of those people that like hermit. Like I don't leave the town.
No, we know they leave. We just know it's extenuating circumstances for them to do so.
No, sometimes maybe it's just vacation. Like sometimes they just need to leave for like just a different environment. I don't think it has to be that serious, in my opinion.
Maybe Jen gets framed when she's in jail. He gets her out.
Who?
He said maybe Jen gets arrested, like Titania sues.
And he gets her out.
Titania's like assault on camera.
But she works with lawyers, so she's like, why would not one of her lawyers?
Right? Why would she go out of her way to get? Yeah. I mean, again, maybe they're. I don't know, man. I just can't wait for next week.
Don't overcomplicate it.
All they saw was her knock her into the wedding. They didn't see what happened outside.
Just fucking let it happen.
Trayvon, let's do our best to overcomplicate this for Joel. Maybe they have a son together, and he's coming out because of shared custody. No, I'm just joking. I'm just very excited. I'm just very excited to see next week's episode because there's only 3 more left, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 3 more left.
Yep.
The last quarter.
So I'm very excited to see how this all ties in. Because remember, this is our last show, like show. I don't count a holiday special.
I do. It's gonna be great. I don't know how long it's gonna be. But.
They're specials, so clearly they should not be in the same grouping as the shows. So I don't know when. We don't know when's the next show. We
next
have no
show
idea.
Is after the 2 specials. Excuse me, sorry. It'll probably.
No, I meant date wise.
Oh, we don't know David nothing.
Yeah.
Wait,
I meant date wise.
They delaying it? Wait. Is it not every week? Is it not? It's on TV, right? Every week, right?
Wait.
Hold on,
I'm getting reverb. Hold on, I'm getting reverb.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Is it you?
You've entered the matrix. You have to.
It's splicing. There we go.
What about now?
Okay, would you just say, Trayvon? Say it again.
I was saying, you guys were talking about 2 specials. I was like, do you guys know something I don't know? Are they moving the show or something like? Is it?
After Werewolf by Night and Guardian special is what he's talking about.
Yeah. We don't know what show, like what.
We don't know the dates. We know what show. We just don't know the date. It's probably Secret Invasion. That's just gonna be the next show. We just don't know when. Sometime next spring.
Before the Marvels. That's really all we can say. Before the Marvels.
And after Ant-Man, I guess.
Yes. So after February, we're assuming.
Yeah,
so.
Pretty much.
March, April, May, June. Who
after
knows?
Ant-Man and the Wasp at some point.
Yeah, and it's only 6 episodes, so it doesn't have to be that far from the Marvels.
That's true.
So who knows? But it'll be our last MCR for a while.
Weekly one, yeah.
Yeah. Because the holiday special we could just do literally in just one day and it's done.
Well, same thing with movies.
Oh well, no, we don't call the movies the MCR though. That's what I'm saying. GVN review.
Oh, I'm saying that is the MCR then.
I mean, I guess. I just didn't want to call it the MCR and then people think, well, what do you call the DC stuff? I don't have a name.
We didn't have one.
So I didn't want to make it seem like it was catering just tomorrow. We didn't have one. So
I agree, but they don't deserve it right now.
No lies have been told.
Get your shit together and we'll make one up for you.
Consistency gets you a name.
There you go. I
don't know what to give you. There's no show.
Being good gets you a name. But no, I'm very excited for how this ended. This episode ended. I cannot wait to see how it all plays out. That's a pretty big needle. So I'm curious what you didn't know going into the first time you tried to stab her, to where now you're just like, oh, we got it down pat now. Like, how did you not?
Vibranium. That needle's a vibranium needle. We never tried it. She don't know.
I'm like, the Hulk's been around for forever. You had to know that his skin was unbreakable. Why would you think hers was any different? Like, why'd you come with that little...
It's a very sexist move to do. She's weak.
She's a girl. She's weak. There's no way
she's small compared to him.
They might ask what they thought.
Hey, the way this show's going, Trayvon, that might be exactly the first thing that the villain says. Oh, you're pretty strong. I didn't think you would be.
She didn't get as big and muscular as him.
Yeah, she didn't
get as big. Time out. Yeah. Also, let's remember that they could not convey the comics exactly. Because in the comics, muscularly, she's not as massive as the Hulk, but she is extremely buff. I mean,
they could have.
Even the drawings showcase it. At the end of each episode, like that episode where, the drawing where she's holding up the weight, where the dude is staring at her with his mouth open, she's jacked there, you know? But to me, I think this is more realistic. I like this, because we say it all the time, Joel. We didn't need a muscle-bound Wonder Woman, so I don't really need a gigantic She-Hulk either. It's just, I don't need it. So if this is the middle ground, I'm fine with it. And we also haven't seen enough of the of like her midsection to see how truly ripped she is. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, we'll probably get there at some point. We'll see. What were you gonna say, Joel?
I never liked She-Hulk as big as the Hulk anyway. And there was definitely a run recently where she was huge like that and like dumb.
Yeah.
I don't like that show. I like this.
This works. This definitely works. But all right. We are all very excited for next week's episode. Can't wait to see what comes out of it. That's
Or
gonna be a lot of
doesn't.
fun. Or does it?
Everyone's favorite part.
Right? Everyone loves that.
Or does
Which is, look, I will say this with She-Hulk, the one power that She-Hulk has outside of the obvious power is that people that don't like it, they somehow weirdly, very weirdly, maybe this is telekinesis, but they somehow still watch it every week. So that's a superpower.
They always there's like somebody in their circle that points out something that they hate the most, and then they all flock to it and hate together, like pigeons.
They're like, I didn't even think of that hate. Yeah.
Look at this stupid ass. This is why I don't watch it. This one scene, the 1 second in this one show.
I'm just saying, guys, if it's not for you, we're not here to influence you otherwise. We're just saying, please don't let your reasons be stupid. I could even take you just saying, hey, I just don't like it. No problem.
Yeah. I don't have a sense.
But some of the reasons some of you guys don't like the show at all is just kind of feel like it's a concerted effort for you to try to hate that hard.
You don't have to like everything that comes out of from Marvel at all, you know.
Not at all.
And this show is definitely a different tone compared to a lot of the other shows, but it is what it is, and it's very unapologetically
different
itself.
Yep.
So.
And again, like I said, if that's just not your thing, by all means, it's just not your thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you a quick example. We're getting at it. So, I see people on Twitter all the time that say, hey, I hated Thor Love and Thunder, right? No problem. It's not your thing.
That all the time,
no problem. I can understand it to a degree, right? But then you get people that say, there's no way you're telling me Thor Love and Thunder was better than Thor 1. And it's like, well, I mean, what are we doing here? We're really splitting hairs here, really. I mean, come on. One feels more... Well, I'll say this. One, to me, feels more authentic to Thor. Maybe you don't like everything else around it, but one is Thor to me. The other one is you trying too hard to be a thespian Thor. And I don't like thespian Thor. I think there's a balance to it, and Taika found that balance in Thor. Now, if you don't like anything else Taika does with the Thor movies, I'm not here to convince you. But the man cracked the code for Thor. That's how I feel. The man cracked the code for Thor. The stories, the writing, I'm not here to argue that. The first one felt too much like I'm watching Shakespeare. And albeit to a degree, you could argue that's what Thor might have been at some point. It's not the Thor I have any interest in seeing. So for me, I didn't want that. I was very bored. I left that movie going, thank God Loki was here. Right? Only for me to go 15 years later like, God damn, why didn't he just stay that one?
It's your fault because you love them. It's your fault.
It is.
Still here.
It is. It is. I hate myself every day I think about it, Trayvon. I really do. But yeah, so just your reasonings for hating She-Hulk, just, work on it. Be better people. But all right, guys, that's all we got for you. Make sure you stay tuned Monday for Much Ado About Nothing. We're going to have a very fun episode for that. Talk some more news, whole bunch of stuff going down as we prepare ourselves for New York Comic-Con. That is about, a week and a half away?
Tadum is this weekend.
Tadum is this weekend. We'll have Tadum the breakdown.
I hope we get good shit from Tadum.
Well, they showed me the Old Guard 2, so I'm like, well, I'm good. The Old Guard 2, Wednesday, and The Witcher Season 3.
Wednesday.
I can hang my hat.
I like it.
They said they're going to give us an official date.
The School for Good and Evil, Wednesday.
Yes.
Wednesday, actually.
Wait, that comes out Wednesday?
No, some of the more about it.
Oh, gotcha. All right, well,
get more and more excited as it goes.
And Chris Hemsworth's sequel.
The
action movie he did.
That movie I liked. Yeah.
So I can't wait to hear more about that.
I can't rename it at the moment, but that one.
Yeah. Could have sworn the way that movie ended, there was not going to be a sequel.
Yeah, I thought glad that there
was. So for me, I'm like, well, sign me up. I can't wait.
I did
Extraction. That's the name.
Extraction. Good movie.
Extraction.
It was
really good movie. It was. He showcased both that he could be an action hero and that he could be, well, not that he can be, that he is a really good actor.
He is.
Yeah, he's come a far way from Thor.
He's just more comfortable doing comedy, which is fine.
True.
That's your lane.
He's natural. He's natural at it. So
hey, if it works, it works. Don't change. But yes, make sure you guys stay tuned for that Monday night at 9 p.m. We will break down all of it. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But until next time, guys, peace.
Peace.
Oh, wait. I picked up my phone like I didn't have to end the show. Hold on. I forgot.